everybody, welcome back to Project Dumpster Fire. Today we're going to start on the disassembly of our 305 Scrambler. Let's get into it. Alright, to start with, we're going to remove the seat and the fuel tank. That's ordinarily not so easy. Generally they're attached to something, but not this one. Let's have a look through here and just see what we got. Everything looks to be complete and completely ruined. So let's start taking it apart. After the seat and tank are removed, that leaves us access to everything. Look at this paint. It's like new. Nothing else is like new. So we're going to get it up on the lift a little higher and get to work. Okay, well, she's up. Guess we can continue with the theme of taking things off that come off by hand. I want to see about getting that sticker reproduced. Well, there's our problem. The air filter is dirty. All you gotta do is clean that up and we're good to go. Not really. Okay. So let's see what's junk so far. Everything is. Alright, let's start with the exhaust. Alright, we're going to start with getting the rear exhaust hanger off. That's a good place to start. I mentioned before in my last video when I introduced the bike, this is the wrong exhaust for it. This is an exhaust off of maybe a Dream or something else. This is not the exhaust for this. The exhaust for this is a Scrambler style high exhaust. It goes on the other side. I do have that exhaust, so I'm not too worried about really hanging on to these mounting points because they're not going to be used. All right, let's go ahead and get the head pipe off. That looks like a 10 millimeter to me. It is. All right, let's go ahead and get the chain off and see if that'll make it a little easier for us to get that cover off. The reason we're pulling the cover off so we can get to the motor mount bolts to get the engine out. This obviously, well, maybe not obviously, I don't know how familiar everybody is with bikes, but this is a master link. So I'll be able to push this through and basically break the chain at that point. Just like that. There we go. Chain's off. Just that easy. Just like your bicycle back when you were a kid. Alright, we got it off. Look at us. Alright, this is going to give us access to the primary drive sprocket and the stator assembly. But we're not taking any of that off. What we're going to do is take the engine out. So our next step is going to be to get the clutch cable off of this and do so without disturbing the kicker spring and having it fly everywhere. So we're going to start by removing the pressure from here. Or tension rather, not pressure. that's going to let this slide right out of here, like that, which will then let us pull the clutch cable out of here by pushing it in further, moving it over and down. All right, now we have our main plate off. All right, in order to move the carburetors, we need to get the throttle cables off. On a carburetor like this just unscrews. This is where we find out the piston's stuck. No, it's not. It's not stuck, it's not scored, it's not rusted. Well, that's pretty good. So we should be able to push this in a little bit, get the throttle cable right through this hole, and slide it right out. All right, guys, so here's where we are now. In order to get this engine out, we got these bolts here. Not a big deal. We got a bolt that runs through the frame down here. And then we've got this conglomeration that holds the steering stabilizer on, which is like a top motor mount. So what my goal is, I believe, is to get the bottom bolt out, get the skid plate off, get a jack under it to support it, pull these side bolts and the top bolt out, and then go ahead and see if I can squeeze the motor out. If not, then I'm going to have to pull the top end off the motor with it in the frame and then pull it out that way. You ever get one of these stuck in here like this? No worries. Just gently thread it back on the bolt a little bit, pull it right off. I'll just swing this out of the way for now. All right. And then the top motor mount should be off. You can see these screws are pretty butchered. You know, these old Japanese bikes and cars, they don't use Phillips screws. They use something called JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard. It's very much like a Phillips screw, but it's not. It's ever so slightly different. So these are the ignition wires, contact points for each cylinder, left and right. See the L and the R? That's going to tell you which side you're on. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect it. There you go. Put it back together. That way you won't have to wonder where everything went later on. Nowadays you get parts and they're missing little pieces. So just keep as much of your old stuff as you can. Every now and then you may have to reorganize something and make it work. Let's see if we can get this bracket off of here. Ooh, almost. I can slip. There we go. Got it. It's like a puzzle for smart people. Wish I had a smart person here, but my wife's at work, so. All right, top motor mount's undone. So I think the plan is now to get a jack under it. Well, actually, to get the next thing is get the skid plate off. Then we'll get a jack under it and see about getting those bottom pieces off. Once this bolts out, we'll be able to put a jack under it and work on the top bolts. Get the whole thing out. There's your spacers. So we'll put one of those there, one of those there, this here. So I'm putting this all back together the same way it came off. So I know where the spacers go. I have the nut, the washer, the whole thing. I'll clean it all and paint it and everything, but in the meantime, it's going to stay together. Guys, here's the part you don't want to drop it on you. So you just want to slowly walk it out, just a little at a time. It's not going to be light. Right about now is when you wish you had a different hobby like stamp collecting. But it's all right. It's all right. It's going to be fine. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 7. York! Oh, my God. Ow. Okay. We got our motor out. Well, guys, that's about as much as my back can take for one day. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and I enjoy having you with me here in the shop. Go ahead and like and subscribe if this is something you're enjoying, and share it with your friends. Maybe you know somebody else who's into this kind of thing. Even if it's not motorcycles, I work on my truck, I do other kind of stuff too, and I've got some other projects coming up the road. So like, subscribe, share, and keep it in mind, and click that little bell icon. It helps get you notifications when I release a new video. I try to release at least once a week, sometimes twice. Thanks again for joining me. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.